Hello and welcome to another Lawn Fun video. Today we're taking a look at the new paper piecing die Froyo Friend as well as the new die Mr. Sun. These two new dies make some really fun paper piece die cut images, so let's check them out. Here are the pieces for Mr. Sun. We have the background piece, the face with the outline, and some really fun accessories like a mustache, sunglasses, and cute little cheeks. I'm going to be cutting out the base piece from some storm cloud cardstock as well as the mustache. Then the main piece with the outline and the colors in the inside I'll be cutting from some sunflower cardstock and fake tan. For the little cheeks, of course, I'm going to use some ballet slipper cardstock and then really fun glittery black cardstock for the sunglasses. So here's a look at all the pieces cut out. We have that background piece with the little hands and feet, which is so cute, the outline piece, and all those little accessories. Now we need to assemble our pieces together to create Mr. Sun, and I'm going to have a orange outline for Mr. Sun, but you could always cut this from black. I also remembered that I wanted to add some glitter, so I pulled out some of the autumn gold sparkle cardstock and cut that so I can have some glittery sun rays. I'm adding my adhesive all over this background piece, but I'm avoiding those little arms and feet because they're just going to stick out from behind the sun. Now I can add that orange outline, and then I'll pop out this autumn gold glitter piece so I can have some sparkly sun rays around the outside. Then there is another outline in the center that outlines the face. And for the face, I will be using the sunflower cardstock, and I want to make sure to pop out those little eyes and mouth. And since I didn't put any adhesive in the center, we can just let that storm cloud cardstock shine through as the eyes and mouth. Now I'm adding these really cool sunglasses to my Mr. Sun, but you could just leave it as is. There's also that really fun mustache. I thought I would show you what that looks like if he wants to be super cool. But for mine today, I'm just adding those little rosy cheeks, so I'll just add a tiny dot of glue and drop those little cheeks right into place below the sunglasses. Now what's really fun is we still have all these leftover pieces. I made a second Mr. Sun with all those pieces I had already die cut. So there's a little guy with a mustache that I can keep and use on another project. Now let's take a look at Froyo Friend. For this, there's also a background piece with arms and legs and a background piece for the strawberry. Then we have the outline die for the Froyo Friend, the strawberry, and of course, there are some little rosy cheeks as well. For the background and the outlines, I'll be using some storm cloud cardstock. I'll also cut my little Froyo Friend from white and pink so that I have some pink frozen yogurt and a white frozen yogurt cup. For the strawberry, I'm using some raspberry cardstock and some algae cardstock. So here are all those pieces cut out. I have the solid piece and the outline of the strawberry, and then I also have the solid piece and the outline of the Froyo Friend, and of course those little rosy cheeks. Now before I start to assemble, I wanted to add a little bit of inking to my frozen yogurt to give it kind of a gradient. So I'm adding some guava ink to those little swirls of yogurt before I pop them out of the outline. I'm just using my grip mat to hold it in place while I add that ink. Then I can put some adhesive all over my solid backer piece, again, avoiding the little arms and legs because they're just going to pop out from behind our image. Now I'm popping all of those pieces out, so I just have my outline left over, which I can just line up and put right onto that adhesive. Because I put adhesive all over that background piece, I can easily pop out all those little pieces that are the swirls of the frozen yogurt and drop them into place into that outline. Since I did my inking before, I'm going to get this really cool gradient look with the lightest frozen yogurt at the top and then a dark shadow at the bottom. You could also change it up and use different colors for all these and make a really cool rainbow swirl, or different colors for each layer I think would be really cool too. Now for my frozen yogurt cup, I just stuck with white, but this would be really cool out of a pattern paper or something like that as well. I am popping in the little eyes and the mouth on this, but you could just let the storm cloud cardstock on the background show through if you wanted. And of course the finishing touch are those cute little rosy cheeks. Next, I need to assemble my strawberry, so I'm putting my adhesive all over the solid piece. Then I am using just the outline, which is also from Stormcloud cardstock. The berry is cut from raspberry and the top piece is cut from algae cardstock. And now we have this really cute strawberry and our frozen yogurt. I'm going to go ahead and add this strawberry up here on the frozen yogurt. To me, it looks like a decoration on a giant frozen yogurt hat, which I just think is so funny. I have some paper from the Pint-Sized Patterns Summertime collection. I love that rainbow stripe. It really goes well with this ice cream. And then I cut that blue piece with a stitched rectangle. I'm also using the smallest of the Stitch Sentiment banners and a sentiment from the Treat Card add-on set that says Happy Ice Cream Day. I've cut the banner from some Ballet Slipper cardstock and I'm just stamping the sentiment in some black ink. Now I can start to assemble my card. So I'll put adhesive all over that rainbow stripe paper. This was cut from a 12 by 12 sheet, so it is a much bigger stripe. And you can see there is another pattern on the back side, which is actually the back side of the blue paper, which I think is kind of fun. So we're going to stick stripes to stripes, and we get this blue panel with that really fun rainbow stripe outline. To give some dimension, I'm using foam squares for my little sentiment banner that goes right here along the bottom. And then I will also use some foam squares on my Froyo Friend so that it is popped up and has some dimension off that background. I think this is really cute, especially with those little arms and legs. And then of course, I like to add glitter to my ice cream so that it looks nice and frosty and cool. So I'm adding glitter just to the tops of the swirls and a little bit to the top of the strawberry. And then now this is my finished card, perfect for any occasion or any day, especially ice cream day. Yes, it is a real day, which I'm totally going to stamp on the inside later. Now let's make a card using Mr. Sun. I'm using the Rainbow Ever After Petite paper pack, and I'm going to pull out this big, wide yellow stripe paper and cut this with the sunburst backdrop. Now I don't need that opening in the center. I want it to look all solid, so I'm just lining this back up and I'm going to flip it over and hold that circle in place with some washi tape because I want this to stay just one solid piece. We're going to be covering up that circle with Mr. Sun anyway. I did want to add a little bit of a glow around Mr. Sun since he is the focus of the center of my card. So I'm using some carrot ink and a blending brush and I'm just blending around that center. I'm just checking every now and then to make sure I've pulled that ink kind of out far enough to where it makes it look like he has a bit of a glow on that background. I think that looks perfect. Now for my sentiment, I pulled out the All the Clouds stamp set because I love this sentiment that says sending sunshine to brighten your day. I think that's a perfect sentiment to go with Mr. Sun. So I'm just lining up the two lines of my sentiment and picking them up with a block. And I'll be stamping this on that white piece of cardstock right along the bottom. This is going to give a cloudy bottom to my card. So I'll stamp this in some black ink right here along the bottom, and I like to stamp first and then use my border die so I make sure I have enough space for my sentiment. I'm pulling out the puffy cloud border dies. I like that big puffy cloud, and I'm just lining this up, making sure it looks great with Mr. Sun, and I think it looks perfect. He's going to stand down in that little cloud. I'll just hold this in place with a little low tack tape and run this through my die cut machine. And now I have this really fun cloud at the bottom for Mr. Sun to stand on. I just think that's a really fun look. To add some shimmer to my background, I am adding some gold metallic watercolor splatters. And once that's nice and dry, I can put adhesive all over this background panel and add this to my card base. For my clouds, I will be adding those with some foam adhesive tape to pop them up and give them some dimension off that background. And I'm just lining this up right along the bottom of my card front. Of course, we need to add some dimension to Mr. Sun as well, so I have some foam squares on the back of him, and I'll just pop him right there in the center, standing on that cute little cloud at the bottom. I also have some hearts cut from guava cardstock with the hearts from the Hearts and Stars with Skinny tag die, and I'm just adding those all around for some fun embellishments. I decided to add a couple more down on the cloud as well, and I think that this really fills in some of that empty space with some happy little hearts. And then here is my finished card with Mr. Sun glowing and sparkly right in the center of that sunburst. I just think that this turned out so cute and will really brighten someone's day. Now let's take a look at some projects from the design team. Grace made these really fun tags with the Froyo Friend. I really love that holographic paper she used for the cup. Yainea's card is so sweet. I loved how she used two different colors for her Froyo swirls. I think it is a really cool look. It looks like Megan created a really big giant pup cup for these cute little puppies. I love the little dog bones that she added. And then this card by Tammy is so sweet. I love that the Froyo friend has a Froyo friend. Using two together is so cute, and I love that they're different flavors. Mindy has some different flavors too. I love that she created a chocolate one on her cool shaker card. And then this card by Elena is so sweet. I love that she added some of the die-cut fruits to go along with that Froyo friend. And then Kelly colored her frozen yogurt with markers so she could get 3 different layers of different flavors. I think it is so much fun. Elise's card has Mr. Sun front and center, and I love that big bold sentiment that she created. Check out Audrey's card. She used the solid piece from the diagonal stripes border to create a really fun background. This card is what inspired the Mr. Sun that I created today. He goes perfect with a big, bold, glittery sentiment. And then this card by Maureen is so much fun. I love the summer scene she created, and it looks so cute to have Mr. Sun hanging in the hammock. Mr. Sun is perfect to add to a little scene, like this scene that Rebecca created with critters in the desert. But he's also really fun on his own, like with a really fun background. These rainbow clouds that Letitia created are so much fun. Mindy also created a fun background with strips of paper to create a rainbow going into the cloud. And then here is Mr. Sun in a ta-da diorama. How fun is that? He fits right inside the new sunburst diorama window. And then here is a look at the 2 cards I created in the video today using Froyo Friend and Mr. Sun. I hope this has inspired you to make some new things with these new lawnfawn friends. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.